Hello, welcome back. Very exciting Monday morning. Where am I going? I really hope this works out. This is and could be very exciting. Fingers crossed. Well, it's a little bit noisy here, obviously, given where I am. But what an amazing setup. One of the best looking places I've seen. Look at you. Oh, you're gorgeous. So this little beauty's at the moment called Saramango. I think I pronounced that right. It's a strange name, but wow, he's so similar to Will. Not so much around the jowls, but physically needs to put on quite a lot of weight. But what a beautiful dog. And I'm really hoping, because the next stage after I've done this little short walk with him is to introduce him to Will. He's around about 3 years old and he was just found abandoned. What normally happens here, because you've got to be careful with pointers, the gypsies like to take them and then they try and breed them, or if hunters are taking them up in the hills but the dogs get frightened of the gunshots and so on, then they can just leave them to one side or just leave them caged up. So anyway, great colour as well. I really hope Will gets on with him, because right now I just want to take him home. Wednesday is the day that they're going to deliver him in the afternoon, but in the meantime I'm going to have to dash back to the house because we've got a lot of work to do there, and the sooner we can get that out of the way, the sooner I can be back here and enjoying it. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel after losing Bert, but I can tell you I miss him every single day, and I've been watching Will over the course of the last month or two, and he's been behaving himself really well. He seems happy, and obviously he's spending a lot more time with me because it's just me and him. But I do feel like he needs to have a companion. And for me, I know as well, you need to get yourself a woman, Andy. I know, this isn't a replacement, but maybe, you never know. This year may be that year. We'll see. Anyway, back to the village. And the wind has really picked up. While I was out this morning, preoccupied, James has been in the hallway and in the bathroom area going over the base coats that we did last week with the finishing product. And the lovely thing about this, not only is white, which is nice to see a different colour, but it's sandable. I've been scraping off all of the loose stuff and now I've got to continue doing that. But we ran out of the product, so we're going to go and get it this afternoon. Right, on to Thursday. Dog was supposed to turn up yesterday, but apparently a few people were ill and they couldn't drop him off, so they're coming this afternoon at 2:30. I've patched in quite a lot of wall areas around here, and I'm ready now on this wall to get going, and I really want to see if I can get this with the meshing on, because this really is a wall that will look quite nice from down there when it's done, and I want to see some progress. It really is time now to start turning this house into a home. Wow, what a massive, massive difference that has made in this room. Of course, we got all this lot to do. Anyway, mustache back. Looky, looky, it's not Will, it's Chris now. Chris Cross. Hello. Shh. I've got him settled down over there. He's only been with me an hour and a half and he's been darting around everywhere. Obviously, he's confused, he's excited. We're fenced in, it's all right. Will's in the car and it all seems to be okay right now. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything else on the house for a couple of days. We're going to come back to that next week and I want to show you, I want to reveal really of that whole downstairs area, and having that one wall done this morning has really changed it. Anyway, my video was about the off-grid, the solar, the water, homestead type thing, and I thought I'd just bring that up in this video because in December I mentioned I was going to be installing a solar setup here at this house. Let's face it, it would be amazing, wouldn't it, to be self-sufficient? Endless energy, your own water supply would be great, especially living in an environment like this. My dream anyway. But I've got to be realistic. I haven't even started the house yet. And that is going to require a lot of time, patience and energy. And of course, money. So I really do want to concentrate on this first. I was going to get that solar set up in January, but I've had a good long hard think about it. And there's two real reasons. And the second one is equally as important as the first. The first one being the cost. 15 to 20,000 euros to get something that's going to be suitable for me set up is a lot of money to outlay at the very beginning. Now I know it's going to pay for itself eventually, but you can't guarantee how long the batteries are going to last, you can't guarantee how long the panels are going to last, and you're going to have the maintenance side of that. And it's, to me, it feels like a lot of a headache when I got electricity here already. It's a lovely whimsical thing and I would love the idea of having it, but I've got to be sensible, get a roof over my head first, create this beautiful environment that I dream of and that I'm pushing myself to get, and then worry about that side of things further down the line. If prices go up, prices go up. But I'm really hoping that somewhere down the line there's going to be something smaller, more efficient and less ugly and intrusive than solar panels. And that comes on to the second point, which is the visual side of it. I don't want them on my roof, flat roof up there. I want to enjoy that space, looking over at the hills, looking at the stars at night. I don't really want to be sipping my beer, leaning on a solar panel. I'm already going to have a solar water tank up there, which is enough on that roof. And there's only one other place really that I can put the panels because I'm surrounded by cork trees, but you can only have them a certain distance from the batteries. That is down in that corner over there. But I've got young cork trees growing up and I've got fruit trees that are growing up. And as the sun moves, obviously, shadows, and you want to make sure that those panels are in direct sunlight as much as possible. And I'm not sure whether at this point, even because there's I think around 20 of them that I'm going to have, and they're massive, whether I would need permissions to put them down there. That's something that I hadn't put into my equation. But I don't want to be, when this house is finished, or even now to be honest with you, once I've moved that bus out of the way and I've got this looking as beautiful as I can, I really don't want to be staring down there at some ugly panels. I think that that would be a real shame in such a beautiful area like this. Now with regard to water, I do of course have the well, and of course I do have this. Boreholes now are a thing of the past. Now we can't get the permissions to go ahead and do those, and they would cost somewhere in the region of 7,000 to 10,000 euros. So that really is out of the equation. But with this water here and the well, although they dry up in the end of the summer, I'm hoping with this area that I'm going to be able to go down a little bit deeper, and hopefully that will retain the water in there going through the whole year. But this really is to supply water for all of the plants. And at this point in time, getting a filtering system and so on to clear this water out so it's drinkable or washable is really out of the equation at this point in time. But we'll see going forward what happens. Yeah, I think standing down here, it's clear that having solar panels isn't going to look too pretty, so I'm glad I'm holding back on it. There is another option, of course, which I didn't mention. I am eventually going to have a shelter down here for the tractor agricultural use, and that roof can be where the solar panels go, and I think that is actually a really good place for them on that roof. Won't look so ugly that way, and it'll be a little bit higher. course, one of the things I didn't mention there was the blue Yetis, because I think that they are a huge factor in what I'm doing. And I think that it's something that I now would struggle without. Everything in that bus is running off of the blue Yetis. Although I am connected to the mains, I did that before I got them. The pellet burner is running off of those, and I'm charging all of my small devices. And of course, if there is a power out for a while, then I can use those to get the Starlink up, and I can also, with the essentials, the fridge, freezer and so on, have those. So I think at this point in time, I would concentrate on perhaps getting more of those, knowing that I have more backup. Maybe that's the way forward. Just get the backup of those, because you can fold up the panels and therefore you're not staring at them all fixed in place. I think that that is a way forward. Lots and lots of blue Yetis. There he is in all his glory. That was a few weeks ago. I've got Will sleeping outside there, just relaxing, and Chris down here doing exactly the same. And I thought that, given I'm stuck here because I don't have the car at the moment, it's being serviced, and I want to spend time with the boys, it makes perfect sense for me, as I'm in dog mode, to do this next painting on this canvas. It actually already has a sketch on here, and this is of Bert. It's the second sketch I did, because I preferred that one down there. That was the first one. It's always good to go with the first, I think, in these moments, because it's the one that means the most. But shame I have to go over this. Picture of Will, though, will look really nice. And I found a photograph of him when he was a puppy, and he looks really cute. I'm going to do one of him as an adult, but I really want to see how this turns out. Unfortunately, I've got a paint over Bertie there. I'm going to put some background on there first, and hopefully today, with a bit of luck, it will start to look like Will. He's come to join us. Completely forgot today is the day, the Tour of the Algarve cycle race. I heard the sirens, the helicopter, they make a hell of a noise and they make a big deal of it. Fun. Was that fun, boys? Great to see it every year. Third time I've seen it here now. Really does add to the enjoyment of being in an environment like this with all the activities that go on. Well, I wanted this one to have a different colour background. It's slightly different to the one I did at Burt, but I left the paints in the car, and the car has to stay over the weekend because I need to order some parts. So I just had to use what I already have. Anyway, bit of fun for this afternoon. I think now I'm going to run the tractor around, give it its first and probably only cut for this year. And then tomorrow I've got to get the strimmer out and do the front, because it looks a little bit messy. On that note, I think I'm going to end it there. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Next week, of course, we're going to be carrying on at the house in the village. And I really, really hope, and I know that we will, get the whole of that downstairs section completely covered. And it's going to be a real transformation. So until then, look after yourselves. Have a great weekend and a great week. Bye for now.